the red box. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Mad LiberTEA Party, where left is right, up is down, and the rules don't matter because we're all mad here. And as we like to say all the time, madness is more fun with friends. And today we have two very interesting ladies with us. And oh, I hope that's your pronouns. Oh, God.
No, you're fine. Yeah. She, she, her, hers.
Sweet. We have two very interesting ladies here from Feed Philly, and I would like to give them a second to introduce yourselves. Whoever wants to go first.
Okay. Well, my name is Francine, but a lot of you might know me as Frankie on Twitter. I'm from Jersey, and I have two kids, and I work a full-time job, and I also run Feed Philly on the side with my girl here, Sarah.
Good Lord. That sounds like a lot.
She is busy. She is busy. So yeah, my name is Sarah. I grew up in New Jersey. I met Fran through her brother, who I went to college with, and she and I became fast friends through Joey. I live in Philadelphia now. I moved here about a year ago. I have a full-time job as a content specialist with an online education company, and same as Fran, I work on Feed Philly part-time in my spare time.
Heck yeah. And like I've been going on and on about Feed Philly and what it is since I've been looking into it and everything, but would you guys mind explaining to the audience exactly what that is?
Go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, sure.
I felt like we were just going to talk at the same time.
No worries. So yeah, Feed Philly is a grassroots nonprofit based here in Philadelphia, and our main goal is to provide basic necessities and improved just quality of life for individuals experiencing homelessness or just experiencing less, experiencing food insecurity. So ultimately what we do is we collect monetary donations and donated items, whether it's hats, gloves, socks, toiletries, things like that. We take all of the donations that we get, we assemble care packages with all of the items that are donated. We also like to put in a fresh sandwich, and then we, like I said, we assemble these care packages in like these drawstring bags. We drive all over Philadelphia with the, trunk just filled to the brim with care packages. And if we see somebody in need, we pull over, we give them a care package. We try to have a quick conversation before Philadelphia Parking Authority chases us off for being double parked. And yeah, we try to just spread the wealth that way a little bit.
That's amazing. Like, there's not enough people out there doing things like this. Although, strangely enough, this is not the first time we've had do-gooders from Philadelphia actually on our show. I don't know if you guys know about Black Guns Matters Mosh Touré, but we had him on too.
Yeah.
Philly is full of people who are just really motivated. Like, it just blows me away sometimes thinking about it. But how do like you guys with your full-time jobs and your careers and everything, how do you guys decide you're going to do this? Like, how does this happen? How does this start?
Well, it started with Sarah. So she went and she did a first handout before I was ever even involved at all, and she got together with her family. She collected some donations from like her friends and loved ones, got together with them and went and handed out 40 care packages on her own with them. And she included like little thermoses of fresh cooked chicken noodle soup from her dad, who is amazing human. And they went around and they handed all this stuff out. Now, I had actually been off of social media at the time because I go through bouts where I just absolutely hate social media and delete it completely out of my life.
I know that feeling.
So I didn't know that Sarah was doing that. In the meantime, I had just gone to a company party. We were walking back to the car and I saw this guy sitting outside and he had no shoes on. He had holes in his socks and he just like put his head in his hands, and I like elbowed my husband and I'm like, we need to go buy this guy a pair of shoes. And he's like, we need to go home. We have children and a babysitter waiting for us. Like, we got to go. But I know you're a motivated person. You'll figure something out. Just think about it. So literally the next morning at like 7:30 a.m., I group texted my family and had accidentally included my brother. This was like mad early in the morning. And he was like, well, did you talk to Sarah yet? And I was like, what do you mean? Did I talk to Sarah yet? And he's like, she's literally doing exactly what you're looking to do right now. She just did something. Did you not see any of it? And I was like, no, I didn't see it. So I went online and I checked out everything she did. And I was like, oh, yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And then we kind of put our heads together, we started on GoFundMe and started collecting donations that way and ran our first group, I guess, Feed Philly event the following month, which around Valentine's Day. And what was that? So 2018, Sarah?
Yeah, I think it's about 2 years
Wow,
ago
you
now.
guys have been doing this for 2 years straight.
Oh, going on three. Going on
Almost
three.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Like, Sarah, what made you decide to do this? Was it just something out of the blue? Did something happen or?
I mean, yeah, it's been something that I've thought about doing for a while anyway, or just not something I always wanted to give back. I just didn't know what that was going to look like. And then, I guess this is a semi-political podcast. I was going to say not to get political, but after the
It's okay.
after the 2016 election, I was feeling a little bit crestfallen and a little bit like out of control. I was seeing all this terrible shit happening, and it was making me feel like there was just a lot of bad things happening, and I didn't have any control over anything. So ultimately, it ended up being kind of a selfish thing. I wanted to feel like I had some control over some good that was happening. But like I said, I didn't know what that was going to look like. So then fast forward a year, I came to Philadelphia to visit a girlfriend of mine to spend to New Year's. And she and I went outside to do the whole countdown to midnight thing with pots and pans. And we were outside for maybe 30 seconds before we were like, no, fuck this. It's too cold. It's just simply too cold out here. So we went back inside, and on the way back up to her apartment, I just started thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? This is we're really spoiled. We're just very, very spoiled that we have the choice to just say, I'm too cold to be outside right now. Let's go back inside. And I just started thinking about all the people who don't have that choice, who don't have that option. Within the next few weeks, I had put together, a little budget and collected a few donations from some friends and family. Told them that I wanted to put together some care packages, and that's what we did for that first handout.
Wow. Like, it's nice to hear people think about that. Like, I used to be homeless, and I remember those nights when it was just so cold, and it doesn't get that cold down here, but it does get cold sometimes. And there were nights when I was like, what are we gonna do? There's so many people who walk past you and never think, but it just, you never know. There's gonna be one person. There's gonna be somebody who notices, and I don't think that it's selfish at all. Maybe it was self-serving to an extent, but people do good things to feel good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
What, out of curiosity, what kind of, now this is something I'm really interested in, because we tried to start our own. I think I mentioned a little bit before we started, we tried to look into starting our own nonprofit. At which point did you go, first off, before we get ahead of ourselves, at which point did you guys decide to make this a big nonprofit thing and go get bigger and keep trying to expand and do more? Was that right away, or?
After the first handout, we had raised enough money on GoFundMe to do about 2 handouts of 100 care packages each. So after that, we started kind of soliciting people for more donations, and we were running into a bunch of roadblocks where they're like, well, do you have your nonprofit status? Do you have your 501c3? And we were like, no, we don't really have that yet. And they were like, all right, well, come back to us when you do. So we got a lot of doors kind of shut in our face at first for us to realize that it was going to be a lot easier for us to actually start up the 501c3 in order to get people to actually, not just people, but more companies and corporations and stuff like that to actually donate to us. And it opened a ton of doors once we did that. We've been able to get some pretty awesome donations from people. Not just companies, but also, not just dollar donations, but we actually got, like, we partnered with Bombas. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bombas
Yeah,
socks.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so their whole thing is like, buy a pair of socks, they donate a pair of socks. Well, they really do. So we applied for donations from them, and they sent us 1,000 pairs of socks to distribute. So without having that nonprofit status, it kind of made it tough for us to continue on. And then it actually took us a hot minute to get it, though. It was kind of a nightmare. But Sarah actually spearheaded all of that, so I'll let her tell all those really fun details.
I mean, long story short, it was just a lot of paperwork, and there's about 1,001 ways to do it wrong, and only one way to do it right. So ultimately, we just hired an accountant and a lawyer to help us do it. And then in the middle of our application process, after we had finally submitted our applications and everything, it was during that government shutdown a couple of years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that. So what was supposed to take 90 days ended up taking like almost 6 months, I think, for us to get our actual nonprofit status. But we finally did get it. And it's opened up a lot of doors for us. I think it gives us a little bit more credibility as an organization. And, bigger companies now like Bombas can help us and partner with us and make donations, because, now they get that tax write-off, and they know that we're an official nonprofit, and that we're not just two girls who are going to take your bags of money and run.
Give us your money.
I mean, I guess anybody could be grifters. I was going to ask if there was a lot of people who were suspicious at first when you were trying to get help and everything like that.
Not with us, because we had everything out there. Like, we documented everything that we did with it. We showed everybody what we were doing with it. And essentially, now that you're a nonprofit, like, people will know what kind of money comes in, like, all that stuff is available for people to see. And we really only use it. I mean, the people that have been donating to us mostly know Sarah and I personally in some capacity. Like, a lot of it started that way. And then once we kind of built up a little bit of a brand, if you will, people realized, outside people like that weren't necessarily connected to us personally started to get involved and really recognized us and noticed us. And then once you meet us, like, you realize that there's really nothing we do except help other people with the funds that we bring in.
That's kind of where we are at right now. Like, we've got little donations coming in from like all the people that we know who are like, I know you guys are doing some good stuff, and we'd like to help you guys do that good stuff. We have thought about again and again and again trying to get that stuff here. They wanted us to have more board members than we even have people.
Yeah,
we had organizing this, so we're kind of like, oh no, what do we do?
Yeah. Well, what kind of nonprofit are you starting up?
Ours is more of an educational thing where we go around and try and educate people about the way, just the way government functions, because like it just seems like nobody understands how anything works.
It's true.
Like anymore at all.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think more people could be more in charge of themselves, more like I guess like constructive members of society just by knowing how this stuff works, because like we get duped a lot.
Yeah.
We get scared a lot, and I think the fear is dangerous. And we prefer to like put our hands into trying to start like awareness events for like very unity oriented things. We don't like how scattered our nation is right now. It's scary, and if we can reach out to people and bring people together to do something good together, it shows people that it's not all over yet. Society as we know it's not exploding.
Yeah.
But I think that really every group that's out there doing something good adds to that. Like I may personally have lost faith in the government, but I can't lose faith in people, seeing that there are people out there doing these things, and I don't want to. I'm getting emotional. I'm like, I don't want to lose faith in people. You can't. There's just too many people out there doing too much good stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you guys think's the hardest thing? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. No, the hardest thing. Well, I mean, I have my answer. I don't know if it's going to be the same for Fran, but I think the hardest thing is um, not being able to help everybody, not being able to take everyone home with me.
Mm-hmm.
And, or, or reaching out that hand and knowing that somebody needs that hand up, but they don't want to take it or they're not ready to take it yet either. That's also very hard.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That was really hard for me too. Yeah. Like I want to stay there and kick someone until they get up and throw a fit and be like, walk with me.
Yeah.
But they won't do it unless they're ready to. You can't
Right.
force it.
Exactly. So what we do, we try to help everybody, and if that help isn't welcome, then we move on to the next person, and so on and so on and so on until our job is done.
Well, I feel like I kind of know the answer to this, but we'll see. What's the best part then?
The best part is actually bringing human connection back to people that have not felt it in a really long time. And in that same vein, sometimes that can be the worst part a little bit too, because it's just so difficult to process when you're in it sometimes, and when you're dealing with people that are either excessively grateful or don't want your help either way. So I don't know. I think like I said, connecting with people on a level, and just bringing joy. Like you don't realize some of the littlest things in the world can bring some of the biggest joys to a lot of people. And even just telling people that there's a pair of socks in the care package and seeing their face light up over a pair of socks, it really like puts a lot of things into perspective for you.
Mm-hmm.
But we get excessive good feels from doing what we do, and then we get entirely emotionally drained afterwards.
Oh God, I can only imagine. Like I get really high, and then afterwards, I'm just like, oh, I gotta sleep for 12 hours now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap. I need to take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm an extroverted introvert. So like when I go out there, I'm happy to be out there and everything, but man, it takes its toll and the time
Mm-hmm.
runs out. But I want to go back out as soon as I can. Um, Personally, from each of you, like if you could give like one piece of advice to somebody who is trying to go down the same road as you guys, what would it be?
Mm-hmm. Well,
don't be afraid of failing, and it's never going to go the same way twice.
mm-hmm.
We had a couple really big trip ups when we were first starting out, where we were trying to make things work and the universe was just working against us. You really have to figure out a way to go with the flow and just try to keep your head in the game when things don't go as you plan them, because it's going to happen that way sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And I think for me, the biggest piece of advice would be don't wait for somebody else to give you permission.
Yeah.
People are, don't think that you have to get permission to, if you want to do something, if you see a gap or if you see a need that's not being filled and you know that you have the capacity to fill that gap or fill that need, then absolutely just do it. Why not? Because if not you, then who? And it's not as if Fran and I had, planned for a year and then like launched this nonprofit with everything set up. Like we did it on a whim, and it's just grown from there. So if you have a whim, follow it. Just absolutely, just follow whatever that little inkling is that you have right here. Like I should do something about that. Then do that.
Yeah, don't ignore it. Don't hit the snooze button and roll over. I think that's great advice. So like, oh no, I was gonna ask a question and my brain just went.
Happens to me, yeah, exactly.
Oh no. What I was gonna ask is, I know that like, you guys are kind of a you guys are kind of a nonpartisan group and everything like that. But I was gonna ask if you guys had like, what do you guys mind telling what your political affiliations are? Is that okay? You could say no. That's perfectly fine.
I don't mind. I'm registered. I'm registered Democrat. Um, and I voted Biden Harris in the last election. But as far as like political leanings go, I would say I'm fairly liberal. Try to. I mean, I don't think that you can. It's not going to come out right, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah.
I'm like, take your time. It's okay.
No, it's okay. I'm like, I can't figure out the right way to say it, so I'm not going to say it at all.
Based off this group and everything you've done, you sound very social capitalist, which is pretty liberal and stuff like that. I think that it's admirable. And what about you, Frankie?
Oh, I am a libertarian. I personally identify as a libertarian. I did vote for Joe Jorgensen in the 2020 election. A lot of people hate me for it. A lot of libertarians hate me for it. But
yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah.
We hate each other.
Exactly. All the infighting. It's delicious.
I think it's part of it. You get a bunch of really rebellious, freedom-minded people, and they're bound to argue.
Sure,
Honestly, I
of
think
course.
any group is bound to argue because no matter
sure.
how much of a group is, we're still individuals at the end of the day.
It's healthy.
To me,
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that you guys are able to like work together because I've seen a lot of people who are like, well, you're not the same as me, and I can't work with you.
No.
And I think that
I think when it comes to political affiliation aside, I think that the biggest thing that you have to have in this kind of this kind of thing that we're doing, if you're going to give back in this kind of way, is to just have empathy and an open mind in general. And I think that goes along with a big part is just accepting other people's truths. And I think that might seem a little bit more liberal to a lot of people. You have to just accept other people's truths. I don't think that you can show up for people the way that they deserve to be showed up for in a lot of these situations unless you're willing to just listen and accept what they have to tell you. So you can't basically impose what you think they should be doing or what you think their life should have been on that person. They are where they are. Yeah. That's all there is to it. And let's move on from here.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the biggest thing is just, that empathy and, just being able to listen.
I think you're right because like a lot of times when you come at people judgmentally, you close the door before you even get through it. Like you ever have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, showing up and being like, hey, would you like to have a cult pamphlet or something? People are just going to slam the door in your face or be like, hey, let me tell you how everything you do is wrong. That's definitely not the way to start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wish more people out there would listen to that. We're going to say it louder for those of you in the back. One of the things, I have some friends that are, hold on. My camera just did a weird thing. Okay.
It's all right.
I have some friends that they like they like to get together and feed the homeless regularly and stuff like that. Do you guys have legal pushback? Because like in Dallas, it's illegal to feed the homeless, and they have to actually bring out armed people to protect them from the police while they feed homeless people.
That's absolutely absurd.
It's abhorrent.
I mean,
I can't stand it.
Yeah, I mean, I think technically it's illegal here in Philadelphia as well, because I think you have to have like permits or you have to be set up as like, I don't know, to be able to feed people, you have to have for legal reasons all kinds of stupid, bullshit like paperwork filled out and permits, whatever. But I guess here in Philadelphia, they kind of just look the other way. They've got bigger things to worry about than me trying to give somebody a sandwich. So, it's never really a problem here. And like, I know that
people too, like when we're offering care packages to people, we'll ask them, do you want this care package? Mm-hmm. Like, are you hungry? there's food in here, there's stuff in here. If you want it, it's yours. If you don't, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And we
A
get
lot of
denied.
people. Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. I was like, do you get denied very often?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. I think, yeah, we do definitely sometimes. And I've definitely made the mistake of trying to offer a care package to people who end up saying like, I'm not homeless. I don't need your help. And I'm just like, all right, my bad. Sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's like I don't want to be too politically incorrect, but that's like asking a fat lady if she's pregnant.
I
Oh
know.
no.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather take the embarrassment though, rather than risk
Yeah,
not
then
not
risk
giving
not checking.
not getting somebody fed because I'm afraid of like getting my ego bruised or getting my
Embarrassed, yeah.
feelings hurt. So
Right. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
yeah, exactly. That makes like I feel that too. And like honestly, personally, I'm like free men don't ask permission. If you want to go help the homeless, you do it. And if you need to, you find the dudes to protect you while you do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I think that it's amazing that people of all sorts and all different beliefs can come together around our homeless problem
Mhm.
across the U.S. because it is getting completely out of hand. And the sad thing is that a good deal of them are our veterans, and
Yeah, we see
like
a
I
lot of
don't
that.
support war. I hate the war, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that I hate them.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, and what breaks my heart most in talking to veterans is there's been a few times now in conversations that I've had where they feel like they deserve to be where they are.
Yeah.
The
Sarah,
things that they've done.
that reminds me of the guy at the Hands Up Festival
Mhm.
that we talked to that was like, I don't deserve any of the things that you're giving me.
Mhm.
Oh God, it's sad.
Yeah, it is. It's
The way
heartbreaking.
my arms get the hairs up, I don't like that. That's so sad.
Yeah, and I mean, if you
It's
think
not
about
their
it,
fault. You
right.
don't know when you go in what's gonna happen or what you're gonna.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, exactly. And like I mean, and that's kind of like if you think about it from a 10,000-foot view too, that's what we're battling. That's what we're dealing with is, if people are like, people just think it's that easy, just get a job or just do this or just do that. But when you're battling somebody who thinks that they deserve to be where they are, that they don't deserve anything better, how do you combat that? There's not going to be any convincing them to do anything other than what they're doing. So I think it's a lot of it ends up being a mindset thing for a lot of people. And, through all of these conversations that Fran and I are having with people experiencing homelessness or food insecurity, we're learning a lot about the causes and why they're there, why they ended up there, and why they're still there. And no two stories are alike. There are definitely parallels, but there's no one size fits all reason that somebody is homeless and remains homeless. So to think that there's going to be a one size fits all solution to homelessness is absurd. So I definitely can speak for Fran when I say that, that's what we're trying to do is find all the different solutions that we can through our work as well, just because at the end of the day, this is a Band-Aid, right? Like, yeah, sandwich is nice, a blanket is nice. But we want to eventually work to help people get off the street and also work on preventative measures as well so that people don't end up there in the first place.
I see somebody over here who's asking, they were wanting to know like what were some of the themes, if you could pick some of them. Do you think or maybe like what do you think are the worst problems that you've experienced the most?
Healthcare, honestly, a lot of people we see on the street ended up there because they can't pay medical bills. Or they have really expensive cancer treatments. The one guy, he sticks out in my mind every time I think about him.
Cancer treatments.
He couldn't afford his cancer treatments and his rent, so he was out on the street, and we gave him a care package. Actually, I believe it was my brother gave him a care package, and he was like, look, he was like, I'll take this, but it also kind of makes me a target. Because people get robbed or they get stolen from, and like people will come find him for his bag and take his stuff. So healthcare is a big one. Drugs, obviously, drug use and abuse is a huge issue when it comes to homelessness. We see it everywhere. Mental illness is another one. A lot of people that we deal with seem like they're struggling very fiercely with mental illness issues, like maybe schizophrenia. We get people talking to themselves a lot. Some people can be a little bit frightening with the mental illness aspect of it too. So there's a little bit of danger sometimes, if you will. But those are the three big ones I have seen. The people with the medical bills, drug abuse, and mental illness are three big buckets.
Which, in all three of those could fit if you like split, if you start splitting hairs, all of that could fit into healthcare. Because if mental health care was taken care of, if, like drug treatment, if that was taken care of, if that was part of our healthcare system, like all of these things could be, just definitely alleviated if healthcare was a bigger priority.
Well, I mean, we had the Clean Libertarian on not too long ago, and we were talking about the drug problems and stuff like that. Honestly, do you think that the war on drugs creates a lot of these victims because people are not able to seek help? I think that seems to be an overlying thing.
Well, sure. They end up in the system, and then once they end up out, like getting arrested for nonviolent crimes and things like that, and then once you end up out of the system after that, like why, like it's hard to get yourself back up and back started again once you've already been thrown in there. So I think the war on drugs plays a huge part of it.
We many years ago, I remember hearing about a group that was raising money, and they were opening little like shelter hangouts up in like in Seattle, and they were like making a safe place where they had like doctors and therapists and stuff like that, and people who were volunteering their time, and you could go there to do drugs if you were going to do them, especially homeless people, because like it was just breaking people's hearts, because like there's a heroin problem, and heroin can cause you to freeze to death so much easier. And so like they were trying to give people a place where they could get help without judgment. I think mental illness has that same stigma. Like people don't want to go tell people that they're crazy. When you tell people you have a drug or a mental illness problem, not only that, but they take away more of your rights in the long run.
Yes, they
like
do.
A lot of people who are like, well, I have I'm depressed, or I have like really big mental problems, but like I'm not dangerous, but they take away their abilities to, they can even take away their abilities to stay autonomous, which is scary. It's scary as heck.
Yeah, it's terrifying. So yeah, if your reward for, going to seek help for mental illness is to get locked up and put in a padded room, like why would anybody ever ask for help or go to seek help?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to go seek help, man. Like I was embarrassed to like even tell people I was depressed, and that's not even a big thing. I mean, like it is, it feels big, but it's like it's pretty normal, especially with our society the way it is right now. Like holy hell, this year it's been like all falling apart around everybody. No wonder the like the suicide rates are up and everything like that.
Sure.
Speaking of which, like, have you guys seen like a rise in homelessness during COVID? Is it, or has like there been more problems because of COVID? Is it coming in between you guys and helping people?
I mean, anecdotally, I haven't really noticed much of a difference, but again, I've been trying to isolate as much as possible. To really know the answer to that, it would have to be, next year when the census report comes out or whatever, we can look back on it and kind of look if there's any peaks and valleys or any, correlation or causation there. But like I said, anecdotally, I don't notice much. However, I do know that there's somewhere between, as of the last count, there's somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 individuals experiencing homelessness within Philadelphia.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And COVID has complicated things for us. It makes everything difficult. Like we have a hard time asking people to come volunteer and help out because we don't want to expose them to anything. And in the same vein, we don't want to expose anybody that we're helping to anything either. So, we don't want to have somebody come in and make a bunch of sandwiches and then have them, be carrying the virus or something.
COVID sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a care package laced with COVID-19.
COVID package. You're welcome with your hand sanitizer.
Right.
But But I mean, we did something a couple weeks ago with a friend of ours that does haircuts for the homeless, and he ended up getting COVID probably at the event that we just did. So it gets a little bit risky
Mm-hmm.
right
they're
now.
okay.
He's okay now. Yeah. He's
good.
fully recovered. He's starting to get his taste and smell back.
Oh, good. I hear some people have really had problems with that
Yeah.
after. That's kind of it's
his
strange.
group is awesome too. Like if you guys want to
What are they
check him
called?
out,
You want to shout them out?
yeah, his name is Joshua Santiago, and he runs a group called Empowering Cuts, and he gives haircuts to the homeless, and he actually travels pretty much all around now, right, Sarah? Like he started out in Philly, and he wasn't doing like the tri-state area thing, but he travels a lot now. Yeah, he's so cool, and the work that he does is amazing. He's pretty active on Instagram, Empowering Cuts with a Z.
I'll have to get over there and check that out.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like to hear about new groups and stuff like that and try and get people hearing more about them.
Mm-hmm.
We've met a ton of amazing groups doing what we do.
Oh, for sure. And that's why I wasn't surprised earlier in the call when you said that you've actually spoken to like a bunch of people from Philly who are kind of, doing things like we're doing or just giving back in some way. I mean, Philly's it's like a pretty rad city. I mean, it truly is the city of brotherly and sisterly love. It's the city's motto, and people are living it every day. I mean, it's a gritty city. We'll fuck you up if you cross us, but like we're, I think one of my favorite things that came out of like all of the election coverage over the past few weeks were like all of the memes about Philadelphia and people saying things like, I wish I loved anything as much as people from Philadelphia love being from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's 100% true. So if you're from Philadelphia, you're willing to, just get your hands dirty and do what you have to do to help those around you and make Philadelphia a better city.
Philadelphia is very unique. I remember not too long ago we did like a little sequence on it when we were after the elections were going on, and we couldn't find anything bad going on out there. All we could find were people dancing in the streets and just being energetic.
It was joyful, yeah.
It was very interesting to see people be able to come out and do that. I mean, obviously some people were like, "Oh, well, the COVID, that's not good." But I'm like, well, you know what?
The
Make it joyful.
The COVID. And here's the thing: if you look at
choice, I guess.
But here's the thing: if you look at most of that coverage, almost everybody is wearing
masks.
Yeah, everybody, and like even it's hard to see when things are being filmed that way. But I was, I went out with my roommate, my boyfriend, on one of those nights just to kind of like, just curiosity got me finally. And I was like, let's go check it out. So we did. And like, aside from like one street, everything was pretty socially distanced. People were staying out of each other's way. So, I mean, it's obviously not ideal, but in these times, everybody needs to find a little joy where they can.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah. Good Lord, yeah. And I mean, like, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you've just got to laugh at the sad things to keep from crying at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Woof. Well, so, like, what do you guys plan? Like, you guys plan to keep growing and expanding, right? Like, where do you guys see yourselves in like 5 years?
I mean,
hopefully with more hubs across.
Yeah.
You guys want to spread out outside of Philly and be able to do this all over the place?
Oh yeah, we'd love to see like, Pheed Philly. We'd love to see Pheed New Jersey. We'd love to see Pheed New York. We'd love to see Pheed Arkansas. We'd love to see Pheed Connecticut. We'd love to see Pheed lots of places. Texas, yeah, Pheed Texas. So, and I know that long term, Fran and I would love to, run Pheed Philly full time and make this our full time gig. But we're still in a spot where every single penny that comes in goes toward exactly what we say it's going to go to, is like the care packages or being able to like run ads to raise more money so that we can, just everything that helps us to help more people, expand our reach. So eventually I think we'll be able to get enough donations where we can write ourselves a paycheck so that we can live. But for right now, we're definitely dedicated. And we're happy to give every single penny to the cause.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's literally a passion project. Sarah and I get joy out of it That's
Mhm.
what we get out of this project. We don't, we do it because it makes us it makes us feel good, right? But because we can really share that with other people. Like I don't, I mean, I would say about Sarah, but she probably wouldn't say about herself. But the two of us, we're givers. Like we give. We have warm hearts. Sarah says she has a cold, dead heart. She's lying. She's a warm, warm heart. And
Yeah, I don't believe it.
and we just wanted to give back and to feel a part of the community, and we saw something that needed to be done and we did it. And so now when you look at it, we're trying to kind of put the pieces together as to how we can expand this, make it bigger, make it better, and just help more people, because that's really the baseline for it, is just making sure that we can give that kind of joy and that kind of human connection and that kindness back to other people, because every person deserves it. It doesn't matter if you don't have a home, if you're unshowered, if you're suffering, like that's the point. Like every person deserves to know that there's somebody out there that actually truly does care about their well-being. And Sarah and I really do care about the well-being of the people that we're serving. We really do care about each and every one of them individually and genuinely.
We got a really interesting question down here. Concrete Hades is asking if you guys have tried anything along the spiritual realms of healing in your work. Do you guys add a spiritual tinge to it, or is there any spiritual tinge to it at all, or do you guys try to avoid that just in case? Because it takes all types, like you were talking
Mhm.
earlier.
I mean, for me personally, I think of spirituality as a very broad is very broad for me. So
Yeah, me too.
spirituality to me, there is a spirituality to connecting with a person, connecting
Sure.
with a stranger. So as far as that's concerned, to me, I would say yes in that capacity. We've tried, spiritual connection. As far as alternative medicine or alternative methods for trying to heal individuals are we don't really have the capacity, or it's not, we're not trained. We don't have, it's not our job to go out and heal these people. What we can do is offer them compassion and a hand up and, some food and some friendship and some warmth. And if at the end of the day that's enough to get them to think to themselves, maybe I am worth more than what the situation that I'm in right now, then we've done our job. That's not to say
Honestly,
that down the line we don't hire people. We don't have. It's all part of the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, let's do homeless yoga in the street.
Yeah.
Or whatever, I think
Mhm.
that the connection thing in itself is
Yeah.
highly overlooked, and it's very, very important, especially now with everybody trying to stay away from each other and everything like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That human connection is so very important. Like I moved from the city out into the middle of nowhere, and even I feel a drain, and
Mhm.
I can still go into the city and see people and everything like that, but putting yourself apart from people, it has a drain on you. So
Sure.
For
I really
sure.
think that in itself is um what I was gonna ask what I was gonna ask next was if somebody wanted to help you, like if somebody wanted to try and start their own hub here or in a different place, or if they, like how would they go about doing that? Would they just hit you up or
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're super personable, we swear.
Mhm.
You can reach out to us via our website. It's www.feedphilly.org. There is a section on there where you can contact us, or you can shoot me a DM on Twitter, or you can reach out to us on Instagram via DM. There's plenty of ways that you can find us and get in touch with us. Facebook also. We're on Facebook as well. So if anybody is interested in starting up some kind of partnership with us where we can help kind of start expanding on Feed Philly, we're more than happy to have a conversation about it. And we're interested in hearing ideas. Sarah and I have been kind of flying by the seat of our pants originally when we started this. So if if people have ideas on how they think that, or items that we should include, or different ways that they think that we could kind of expand our outreach in any capacity, like we're all ears. We're a very young nonprofit and we're still forming, like we're still finding our way through this process. And we're really excited to kind of see where all of this goes, because frankly, it grew a lot bigger than we originally anticipated in the first place.
Absolutely. And I would, to double down on asking for people's advice or for ideas. If there's something that you think that you have a talent for, or if you think that there's a skill that you could bring to the table and you want to volunteer your time with us as well,
Please.
like,
yeah,
if you're really good at asking people for money, please hit us up, because I suck at it. Fran has no problem asking people for money.
I'm terrible with it. I'm
But like,
I'm
so,
super
we're
rude
always,
about it.
we're always looking for,
I'm like,
of course the libertarian in the group is like, give me your money. No, I'm just kidding.
So I mean,
give
like,
it to
if
me,
you're,
don't give it to the government. I'll do a much better job.
Exactly,
Than the government will do.
That's one of the things I did want to ask. Do you guys get government aid, or do you guys just do this all on your own with
Not
the
yet.
people?
We're gonna look into applying for some grants, because if the money's out there and the grants are available, I don't think there's any reason we shouldn't.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Even as an anarchist, I believe that if you're taking that money that they're taking from people and using it for something good, it's not going into the war complex.
Yeah,
it's not going into
exactly
the prison industry and all that stuff. It's not, I think that it's, in a way, it's kind of a praxis style activism, being like, no, give me that. I'll
we'll take those tax dollars and we will do a better job with them than you will. I promise
you. Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, I think that the people in the areas, they know what the people need,
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
So like, I think that it makes it so much easier just to give it to the people and let them do what needs to be done. And you guys are basically kind of a good example, because like I'm constantly telling people, if you want people to believe in liberty and smaller government or whatever, you have to show people that people will actually do that.
Sure.
Because you can't just tell people, oh, we're gonna make the government small and rip everybody's freaking safety net out from underneath them, but you're just supposed to have faith that it's gonna work. We need people like y'all and everybody else who's out there working their asses off to make this place better. To like, we gotta put them out there. We got to let people see that you don't need that. You can just be human beings who are good, and it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you believe. Right. It doesn't matter who you voted for or anything else. You can come together and do this shit. And that is just
it's the golden rule.
Yes. And I try to go golden rule from the start, Okay, like if you're rude to me, I'll go down to the silver rule, but I never get, like I get that way, everybody gets the golden rule first. Everybody gets one. I can confirm that they are very easy to talk to, because like I was talking to Frankie for maybe like 5 minutes, and I'm telling her about my cats and all this other shit. I'm just like, my life story here.
I was like a little bummed when I realized that you were in the studio and not home, because then I wouldn't be able to see your cats unless you bring them to the studio.
The studio's in my house, but
can you get one?
Okay, hold on. Let me go.
Are they nearby?
They're in the back. Hold on 1 second. Let me grab one.
Yes.
So Sarah, they're Maine Coon, Egyptian Mau, right? I think he said they're Maine Coon Egyptian Mau mixes. So like they're going to be like either giant long-haired cheetah looking things, or like I guess Maine Coons are like kind of like a creamy long-haired, but they're huge. They're big.
I got the small one. They're not big yet. This is actually, I got the runt because he likes to cuddle and he won't run away from me while I'm trying to show him off. This is the runt.
Yeah.
His name, he's got all these stripy legs and his little spots and everything. And this is him.
God.
This is Fred.
Fred, I want to hold him.
Oh my God.
Redheads. They're the redheads in the group.
Of course his name is Fred. That's the most perfect name for that animal.
Yes, this is Fred. He's wonderful.
This was a huge mistake. I'm not going to be able to talk for the rest of the time now.
They'll just sit here on my shoulders or get up on the chair. Yes, they're super fluffy.
Give me it.
These are what I call the liber kitties.
The liver kitties.
The liver
Yes, the
kitties.
liber kitties. Because there's a hashtag online going, show us your liber titties. And I'm
Liver
like, no,
titties, yeah.
show me your
Liber
liber
kitties.
kitties, y'all. Show me your liber kitties.
I would
They're
love
way
to see
better.
all of the liver kitties.
I
Hashtag
know.
liver kitties 8,000%.
Yeah, we need to get that hashtag liber kitties going out there.
I'm
Everybody
all
shout
about
out.
it.
I think it's hard for me to talk with them out here too because I want to just play with them and stuff.
Oh, they're so cute.
Oh, hey, minute ago.
Aw.
One of the big ones is down here.
He has
They're
five-
jealous now.
5 of them? There's
Yeah,
5
he
of
is.
them, right?
What?
Yes, unfortunately, some of them got out last night and they have not come home yet. So I only have 2 in here, and I'm really worried about them. This one is the biggest in the litter, and they're like 13 weeks, and he's
Oh, yeah,
my
he's
God.
big.
yeah, he's getting up there. He's gonna be the biggest one.
What's his name?
His name is Menethil because he's got frosty edges and he whines all the time. And I'll wake up with him chewing on me, and I'm his cat dad, so I named him after Arthas. My roommate's all like, "You're gonna wake up one day and he's gonna be chewing at your throat, man. You set this up already." And I'm like, "Well, you know,
So,
I
like-
named one Loki, and they're crazy." So
Wait,
That's
I have a
amazing.
Loki too. Hold
oh,
on.
really? I named mine Lowkey, like from the Neil
Oh,
Gaiman
like
book.
I got you.
Like low key.
Loki. Yeah,
That's
it
fun.
is
That's
Loki
so
Very
because,
just
like,
saw
in the
him
Neil
too.
Gaiman book, that's his secret name, Loki Lysmith, but spelled like soap.
They left. I can get my dog. Shelby, come here.
We love dogs. Dogs are great. Dan Berman's dog, when he comes on, will come sit up in his lap sometimes.
Here's Shelby.
Oh, fluffers.
She's a mutt.
We've, oh my gosh, she is so pretty though.
I like to take in homeless animals too.
Me too. That's how we
Homeless
ended up
pets.
with all these liver kitties.
Help homeless people.
I can't.
Everybody deserves a home.
I'm a bleeding heart myself, and if I can help, I will. My partners have to keep an eye on me because I'll give away everything we've got. Like, they're all like, "Well, you're definitely not the ANCAP in the group," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm a shiesty hippie."
This is Benjamin Franklin, but he's really stupid, so we shortened his name.
Oh,
We shortened his name to Jam instead.
Jam. He's super cute.
He's very dumb, but cute.
Aw,
Yes,
poor
but
Babu.
cute.
He means well. He does his hardest.
He does.
So one of the things we're looking on doing here in Little Rock in February is we're going to try and bring some people together because it's really cold and awful at that time of year, and we have a lot of we have a he's we have a lot of bad weather, and it's really cold here during that time period and everything. So we wanted to like get a bunch of people together in one of our unity gatherings and have everybody bring things so that we could create like care packages like what you guys do.
Awesome.
What do you guys suggest? What do you guys like specifically put in yours? What do you suggest that we put in ours? I mean, like you mentioned some of the things you guys put in there, but like
Yeah, so hats,
what's not to
like
miss?
beanies, hats, obviously, because the most heat escapes through the head, so you want your head covered. So get get some nice hats. Gloves are huge. Socks are one of the most overlooked items that people forget about. If you don't have a nice warm pair of socks and your feet get, it's
Yeah.
we've seen some pretty horrific things when people don't have socks and shoes.
It's
So
true. Yeah.
Some people call me lame, but even after all these years of being off of the street, I still just I treasure socks and shoes so hard.
Yeah.
It took me forever to even be able to sleep without my shoes on, to be honest. But
yeah.
I get
No,
that.
I get it. Yeah. Hats, gloves, socks, scarves, blankets, and then any kind of food item that doesn't require a kitchen or some sort of heating apparatus. So like just bags of nuts or crackers, chips, dried fruit, things like that. Stuff that keeps for a while.
Bars, yeah.
Protein bars, yeah.
And then we also do
oh yeah, protein bars are a good idea.
Yeah, but like try to get the softer ones is what we've learned.
Yeah, because some people have messed up teeth.
Mhm.
Yep. So we also do dry shampoo, toothbrushes and toothpaste, reusable water bottles, regular bottles of water. What else do we put in there? We do tampons for women. A lot of people forget about.
Oh, I
feminine
didn't even
hygiene
think
products.
about that. That's such a good idea not to remember. I mean, not to forget.
Write it down.
Holy cow. I'm gonna have to go back through this and like listen to it later.
We'll
and
send
make
you a list.
We'll send you a list
Hell
of what we
yes,
usually do.
please,
We also
please
have
do.
we have an Amazon wish list, I think.
Oh,
If you look us up on Smile, you can find, we have a wish list set up there that you can find with all the different stuff that we request, essentially. Also mini deodorants. I just thought about that one too.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been doing hand sanitizer,
Hand wipes.
hand wipes, hand warmers, those little things that you like
those
break
little
and you can, like, put in
bags
your
that you
gloves.
stick like in your gloves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we were also doing, for people in the area that know it, we were doing $5 Wawa gift cards as well. So that people
What's
could
that?
get, Wawa is kind of like,
It's like a 7-Eleven kind of thing, but
Oh, okay.
way
Okay.
better.
but like way better.
So it's kind of like a little. Is it like one of those truck stop type places or?
Yeah. Kind of
Mhm.
like, what are the other ones? Sheets. What else is there?
That
Yeah,
sounds
there's
great
sheets,
because like you
there's-
can buy showers or nap rooms and stuff like that in those places.
Oh, so yeah, they're not like full on truck stops. They're more like
Oh.
convenience stores that they
Yeah.
have, like, it's like little mini grocery stores that like make sandwiches and soups and sides,
So
and
they
then
can
they
get
have
something warm on their own or choose something else, but it's not like big enough where they can use it to trade for something else. It's more just so they actually use a $5 gift card for themselves and get
themselves.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like if keeping it small like that makes it more likely. I'm constantly being like, I'll buy you something to eat.
Mhm.
I
Good.
don't have any problem with people doing drugs. I just don't want to help. After everything that I've seen and been party to and stuff. Like when I was a kid, I was real messed up and confused, and I was like selling drugs, and like I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
Yeah.
If you want to, then that's.
You don't want to
your part.
enable it. That's
Yeah.
kind of a hard line that we walk sometimes too. But in the same vein, we're like, well, we want to give to them if they want to eat this sandwich, or if they want to take this and trade it for something else. That's their prerogative, really. We can't stop anybody from using what's in the care packages the way that they intend to use them too. So, but that's why we try to keep it, like for gift cards and stuff like that, we try to keep it small. So
Well, you guys make sure to give me that the link to your Amazon wish list too, so I can stick that
we can
down
do that. Faux show.
I'm pretty sure on Periscope and Twitch they don't have all the information on the screen. So if you guys come over to our YouTube link, you can see all of their links. Minus the Amazon one, we'll put that in post-production.
Sure.
But we've got a bunch of links down there that you guys can follow them at and check on people and stuff. And it should be. Uh-oh. We lost somebody.
Oh, looks like we lost Francine. I'm sure she'll hop back on as soon as she can.
Yeah, she can just pop back in. It doesn't close or anything like that. I really appreciate you guys coming to talk about this stuff. If there was anything, like while we're waiting for her to come back, if there's anything that you would like to share that we haven't covered yet, please feel free to do that now, even if that's like just plugging something else or explaining something that's to come.
Sorry, I'm back.
That's okay.
I'm like totally technologically illiterate, and Sarah, you pressed chat or something, and then I got lost.
Oh no!
But I
It's
found
okay.
my
Like
way back.
as used to this as I am, I will still occasionally accidentally end the live stream in the middle of it and have to fix it. So like that's happened recently. I feel terrible. I'm like, Mike did the thing. I'm so sorry. But I was just asking if there was anything that we didn't cover that you guys would like to put out there. Be that, like plugging something or something that you guys have coming up or anything that is on your mind that like you guys share that I haven't hit on to allow you to share yet.
Well, today
is Giving Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say the exact same thing. It is Giving Tuesday. There's still a few hours left to donate. If anybody feels moved to donate 5, 10, whatever, however much money.
It costs about $15 for us to do one winter care package. So if you're wondering a good amount to donate, $15 will cover at least one care package pretty much for an event that we do this winter.
Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then other than
care package.
Yeah. And then other than that, just really, if you don't have the money to donate, what's even, just as big of a help is sharing our page, sharing our posts, liking, following, setting up a fundraiser of your own through Facebook
those.
So there's, tons of ways that you can help us out without actually having to dig into your own pockets, which, I know is difficult for so many. And so
especially
yeah, just know that
holidays too.
Yeah. So know that, yeah.
It can be. I don't do holidays though. I'm gonna give you guys some money. I got you.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm like, this is too good not to help out. Like this is like, it's been kind of a cruddy week, and to be honest, just getting to talk to you guys about this stuff and bringing it up and being able to look at it, it really lifts me up, And y'all's energy is just amazing.
Mike, thank you.
I hope that you guys are at this for years and years and years to come.
So do we. I appreciate that. That's
maybe someday in the future, when we're able to get our feet off the ground, we can do something jointly and see what
love that.
That would be really amazing. I'm gonna definitely keep in touch with you guys too.
I was going to say, please keep in touch with us. And if you're having another shitty week, feel free to reach out to either Fran or I.
Always.
Thanks,
yes, we are open books.
You're angels. If you guys have anything coming up and you want to spread the word about it, definitely hit me up, and I'll pull you on a Monday night or something, let you guys talk about it for 10 minutes if you don't have time, or we can just come on and chat for 30 minutes or whatever you guys want.
I love it.
Talk about it and get it out there, because that's what this platform is for. It's for activists, it's for people who want to do things, and it's for us to show people that there are people out there doing things. And that people, and especially, I love the fact that you guys fit our theme so well, because like y'all are kind of not aligned politically, and
right.
We're not a big church
yeah, we want to reach across the table with each other and actually our fellow man, and screw the politics at this point. It's all broken anyways.
Yeah.
That's why we try to keep it out. We don't, it doesn't matter either way. We're just here to help people no matter what. We don't care what it says on your voter registration card, or if you even have one. We don't give a shit. Like we're here to help people. If you're here to help people, you're cool people with us.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're dealing with human issues, not political issues at the end of the day. So if somebody wants to try to turn a human issue into a political issue, Fran and I will talk to them.
Yes, kind of bull. I hate that shit. I'm like, well, can we just actually do the good thing, and y'all just shut up for a minute, just a minute. I mean, it's one thing if the good thing has to do with political pushback. I guess that's appropriate at that moment. But man, I hate it when the politics get involved with our trying to do something good.
It muddies everything. But like, that's not to say that we don't work with some groups that have like a political leaning either. Like, you
guys agreed to come talk to us, and we're pretty political.
Right.
We're kind of anti-political, I guess.
I like anti-political personally.
Anti-political.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. Yes. But I mean, we're not
it's all bad. Screw it.
We wouldn't alienate anybody. We wouldn't alienate any group that wants to work with us. It doesn't matter what area or spectrum, like on the spectrum that you come from. It doesn't make a difference. Like I said, if you're there to help people, we're there to help people. That's it.
Gosh. Well, did you guys have anything else that you wanted to add? I don't want to keep you guys for too long, because I know you guys have your jobs and all sorts of stuff to get out there to do.
We are busy people, but we will always make time for awesome people like yourself. We really appreciate you having us on here and giving us a platform and an opportunity to talk about what we do. Sarah and I have actually not been able to do an interview together yet. This is our first one that we've done together. We have done a number separately, and it has been so sad doing them apart. So this was awesome for us. We really appreciate you even reaching out, your interest, your thoughtful questions. This entire conversation has gone so smoothly. It's been wonderful. And
I'm glad.
Yeah, no, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to connect with you and getting to know you a little bit, and to share our passion with your viewers. It's an honor, truly.
That's one of the things that I absolutely love about doing this show, is that I get to meet so many amazing people, and I become friends with a lot of them. And so I hope that we can be friends in the future.
Hell yeah, we're already friends.
Yeah, already. Yes. It's already done.
Fast friends. This is wonderful.
It's official.
official besties. But all right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys know that if you liked this, please share it around so that more people know about this group. Please, 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 please. That is actually the most help that we can get.
Yes.
I know we're always like, join our subscribe star with your filthy white market money or send us some Coinstar stuff. But like, seriously, if you can't do anything, just share. And
Yes.
instead
Please.
of giving us money, I'm not going to ask for that. You guys get down there in their website and give it to them because, you know,
Thank
we would
you.
like to be able to help these groups. So that's exactly what we need. And you guys, if you have any comments or questions that we didn't cover and y'all are watching this later, get down in the comments. If I don't know the answer, I'll just ask them what the answer is and we'll get you guys some answers or something like that. Now, if there's
Absolutely.
enough really interesting questions, maybe I'll drag their butts back on here and we can
Please
answer.
do. We
Yeah.
love
That
it.
would be great. And you know, we have the Matrix, we have the Discord, we have our link tree. Get down there and come talk to us. Join. One of the things that I love, you know, a lot of people don't have money, but right now with COVID, a lot of people have time. Come
Yes.
volunteer.
Mhm.
Volunteer with them, volunteer with us, volunteer with all of us. I mean, whatever tickles your fancy, y'all.
Yeah. Find somebody around you. Find somebody in your
Yeah,
hometown.
find
Find something in your
and
hometown
if-
and go volunteer.
And if there isn't anything, start it. I know that's scary. And if you don't know how, just reach out to people like this. Or, I mean, I'm struggling along on one leg right now, trying to figure everything out. But I mean, like, heck, I've already gotten started too. You can ask me. We'll all help you guys
Yeah.
because many hands make the make the load light, and
Yes.
that's what we need right now, a much lighter load.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
True.
And I let you guys know we have a morning show every morning at 6:30 a.m. and I will be there. I'm not promising bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but I'll have some coffee and I'll have something to say. Tomorrow night we don't have anything scheduled, but Thursday night we do have Mr. Pink coming from the Kentucky Fall Guy hemp story, and we're gonna get a recap and an update on what's going on there. Maybe you guys can, you know, help us by sharing that story because
Sure.
the kind of corruption going on out there needs to be brought up so people can get their medicine. You know,
Yeah.
like this is standing in the way of, you know, like speaking of the cancer treatments, this
Yes.
sort of thing can definitely help people. And if it's tied up in all of this stuff without anybody noticing, it never will get there.
Mhm.
But until then, you guys be safe. And you know what? No, don't be safe. Be bold and be free. And don't sacrifice anything for that. You guys, I'll see you soon. This episode of Mad Liberty Tea Time is adjourned.